99.1 CKXS, and happy Saturday morning to you. It's time once again for the All About Real Estate show, and that's where we join Pete Allaer, who comes in today from Riverside Realty to join us. Good morning to you, Pete.
Good morning, Greg.
Good to have you here again. How you feeling today?
Good. Weather's getting nicer, so warmer. And
I do like it. It was a hot week last week.
It was.
Does that spur on sales? I mean, I'll go right at it. I mean, once the weather changes, what are the hot months for selling a house anyway?
Well, typically hot months are springtime usually starts kind of mid to late March, depending on the type of March we have.
Yeah.
But normally springtime's the hottest. Summertime, sometimes it'll slow off a bit. A lot of times people want to buy before the school year starts, so they want to be moved and in before the kids go off to school, so they know where they're going to school. And then I would say the second busiest time is kind of in the fall going into about the 1st of November, because then people want to sell or buy before Christmas. So, but typically March is the busiest, although the last 3 years, honestly, it doesn't really matter when you want to sell your house. There's been demand year round. I
would think that the warm weather kind of gets people
definitely gets people out.
Yeah.
And this past, week or so, as the weather's gotten a bit warmer, definitely more phone calls, more inquiries. People are kind of, and it's combination this year of warmer weather and a little bit of easing of the restrictions for people. So more people are getting out as well with the COVID restrictions. But yeah, spring is normally the best.
I guess as a homeowner, you got to kind of figure out what are the pluses of your home. If you've got something by the water, if you're by the Sny or the Sydenham or maybe the Big River, you probably want to make sure your house is listed in the spring so people are looking at it when there's not snow on the ground, right?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the best time to own a house on the river obviously is when it's warm weather. Yeah. So it's like a pool. I always say to people, if you have a pool, the ideal time to sell your house is when the grass is green, the pool's open, it looks much nicer versus a pool with a cover on it. So, but again, over the last few years, there's been enough demand that hasn't been that critical to sell at any time that you want to sell.
Right. Speaking of selling, I thought today for the topic, we'd talk a little bit about listing with a real estate agent like yourself at Riverside Realty. We were joined by Pete Allaer today. Or private. What are the benefits of listing with a real estate agent when it comes to selling your house? Yeah,
so one of the things I wanted to discuss a little bit about was this whole idea of private sales versus listing. And I get why people want to sell private, right? They initially they think, well, we have all this commission to pay if we sell. Why would we do that? In this market, and I'm going to speak about this market right now, first of all. In this market, 40% of what we sell is out-of-town buyers, 40%. So you need to get your house out there to these 40% of the people, because if you don't, you've just missed 40% of the buyers. So therefore, how do you do that? Well, if you list your house on Kijiji, let's face it, you're going to get some local people, or you pound a for sale sign in the front of your yard. You'll get your neighbors, you'll get some local people driving around, you'll get a little bit of word of mouth, but you're not going to get out to those 40%. And really, if you're selling, that 40% is who is driving the market. So that's one thing. Secondly, when you list your house, realtors have your best interest at heart. So they're working to sell your house for the most money possible. And they do it all, right? So they know how to market it. They know how to take the pictures. They know the advice to give you on how to get your house ready. They do the videos. If they're good, they're doing videos and so on. So it's very important that, you realize that, we don't just throw a sign up, sell your house, and collect a commission. There's a lot of work goes into it that frankly, most people don't see. Mm-hmm. And it's important to know that I've got somebody that's got my back, that when they bring me an offer, they're going to go through the offer. They know what to look for. The realtors know what to look for in offers. If there's a house sale connected to my sale, they know the time frames. They know if there's bump clauses. So there's all kinds of things. I mean, it comes down to, this is a big decision to sell your house, and you want the most money possible. So you want as many people as possible to see that it's for sale. Mm-hmm. And then you want someone there for when there are offers to trudge through them with, right? To make sure that you're being protected.
And I think really what I take out of that is that 40% could be key, because instead of selling your house for $200,000 because you have a minimum of 3 or 4 bids in there, and once people start understanding like there's going to be multiple offers on this, all of a sudden that extra 40% then increases to 7 or 8 people, and you can easily make back the commission you're going to pay to the real estate agent because you've got more people interested in the house, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have an example. I had a gentleman called me, and he just said, I want to sell my house. I said, okay, great. I went and saw him, and he would have been happy with $175,000, and he told me that. And he even said to me, he said, my neighbor wants to buy my house. I can get $175 from him. I don't know, should I just, and this guy was really upfront with me, and that's important too. When you talk to realtors, be honest with them. Right. And I just said, well, listen, I said, I think in this market and your price point, I said, I think that if you list your house, I said, I'm going to at least get you the $175, almost guaranteed, but I would be willing to stick my neck out and tell you that I think I can get you quite a bit more. We listed it for $174,900. It sold for $210,000. So I mean, as a buyer, I get it. I get the other side as a buyer. That's not the greatest thing, but this guy got $35,000 more because he listed it. Mm-hmm. And I mean, my cost was whatever it was, $6,000 or something, right? Whatever it is. So like, he was ecstatic. Like, he's saying, I would have left a lot of money on the table by just not calling a realtor and getting advice. And I gave him advice on what he could do to his house to kind of get it over that. And that's a true fact story. And I mean, we've got lots of those same stories that over the past 2 or 3 years, and again, he said later, he was like, you know what? He's like, you did all the work. He said, you brought me the offers. You explained the offers. He said, I felt 100% comfortable with what I was signing. Like, I knew that, I wasn't going to be in trouble by signing some crazy paper from some private guy type of thing, right? So that was the story there.
It's a good story, and another reason why listing with a real estate agent has great value, as we're dealing with Pete Allaer today from Riverside Realty in our studios today here. We're going to talk some more coming up with Pete in just a little bit, and some more guests to help you when it comes to your real estate purchase and some of the people you might have to deal with down the roads when it comes to real estate. It's the All About Real Estate show. You're listening to it here on 99.1 FM CKXS. 99.1 FM CKXS, back with the All About Real Estate show, joined by Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty, who joins us on Saturday mornings here. I guess we've talked about this before, but I think it's worth repeating a little bit too, Pete, is where are we with COVID-19 when it comes to real estate? How is it affecting you? What's different for the buyer, the seller, and all of those pieces? Let's go through that again, because I think it's good information for people that may be hesitant in selling right now with COVID-19 around us. Are you seeing a change? Is there a difference in price? Walk us through all those questions.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually getting a little bit easier than, let's say, in March.
Right. I think we are dealing with it better too, right?
Yes,
yes.
We're a little more used to it. We're sort of, I think we all have enough education now that we sort of know what we should be doing and not doing. People are much more respectful of, like, keeping a bit of distance.
Right.
And honestly, we've talked about this, about us being lucky. I mean, I was speaking to a realtor in Toronto yesterday, and I mean, it's just a mess there. I mean, it's so confusing over there. But here, we're still pretty good. We still have demand. We're short of supply, like we have been for a time now. We're not doing open houses. I mean, that we're not doing. We are still showing houses in person. We're trying to eliminate the tire kickers if we can. We're making sure we're qualifying buyers, making sure they've got their bank stuff kind of in order, that they're ready to go. The ducks are in order, so that when they do like a house, that they're not wasting a bunch of people's time. We go through the whole thing about don't touch things you don't have to, and keep your distance, and get in and look at the house and get out, just things like that. And everyone's doing very, very well with that. And also with our videos we're taking now, more and more videos. That's been very helpful, because you can walk through these houses, and we've got some great plans coming up with Riverside on expanding that part of it. So the prices have not changed at all. It's still lots of demand, still lots of buyers, and it's been slightly slower, but still it's been okay.
Good. Okay. Nice to see we're still selling houses. So if you're looking at listing your house, you are thinking about moving, or it's time to make a change or downsize or whatever, reach out to Pete Allaer from Riverside Realty. Best way to do that? What's the best way to get a hold of you guys?
Well, best way is to call our office, 519-627-3381, or go on social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Our website, of course, is a great way. You can message us through any of those platforms. Our team is, everyone has cell phones. I mean, we are very accessible. It doesn't take much to get to find out who you want to talk to. And we have an awesome team. We've got great professionals. They've been just awesome through all this. They've been, working diligently, doing their best to be safe and
evolving all at the same time, right? It changing
Absolutely,
the way they do things, because you have to.